Good morning. Happy Wednesday Words Day. It's Cindy Curtis again, and I'm here to talk to you about some things that I heard this week, not necessarily my own, but I'm going to borrow them from some very wise people. I got to go hear an awesome group of lay servants who are getting certified to speak on Saturday morning. And I want to bring you one takeaway from Cassie's sermon that I thought was amazing. He said, am I talking about the mountain or am I talking to the mountain? So I thought that was pretty amazing. I've got a beautiful view here. I'm going to switch around before I go to the next point because it just looks like the sky is so lovely. It's like rays from heaven. And I figured out why that bird is so loud. There has a nest in that little tree. So the second thing that I took a webinar on writing, and it was called Scenes and Summaries, which I've learned it to be the difference between dialogue and description. But I kind of like the scenes and summaries. So if you're writing, you have to have a balance because you don't want to overwhelm your reader with so much description that they lose the storyline. So think of it like I put a scene in here now where two characters are talking to each other, two or three or four. They're conflicting, they are planning, they are just being friends, but you bring us into their personal life, and then we go back to the summary section where you would be more filling in those blanks, more like a narrator, like flashbacks to their past, maybe future plans that they haven't projected yet, or even inside their heads. What are they worrying about? What are they thinking about? Those are all things that you could add in between scenes and summaries. And that was Lindy who gave me that wonderful workshop that I went to. And last of all, I read a devotional every morning that is sort of like a creative mind of inspiration. And this was Julia's suggestion for yesterday. She said, what are you going to do with an accident? Because accidents happen. And she challenged that to be, that is a time when you can let your creativity shine. Maybe something beautiful will grow from that accident that happened. For example, this is one that we laugh about in my family, but when we were kids, my mom discovered that blue box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and she wanted us to have it for the first time. And now I will tell you, she makes killer macaroni and cheese from scratch, but this was like a weeknight macaroni and cheese. And when she put it all together, it called for milk in the mix, and she had everything in there except the milk. And she served it to us anyway. You know, we ate it. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. It was so cheesy and so tart. So the next time she made it, she put the milk in. And we didn't know. And we were like, what did you do to the macaroni? It doesn't taste as good. So what she did by accident was something that we really, really loved. So what about you? Have you had an accident, something, well, this sure didn't turn out like I thought it would. I don't mean one where anyone was hurt or injured. What I'm talking about is something that you thought was going to turn out, maybe kind of like those, where you see something on Pinterest and then you try to do it and it doesn't look exactly like theirs does. One of those kinds of things. So what can you do with that? How can you maybe you started a piece of writing and you thought, where's this going? And instead of making it into a story, it ended up being more like a poem. Or you started it and then now it's a blog instead. Or you take a blog and expand it into a piece of writing. So don't be discouraged if you're having one of those times where everything seems to be not lining up like you want. Look at what you can do with that. So I hope you have a really good day. I tried to keep it short and sweet today. I'm off to do some work, so I've got to run, but I'll see you next week.